personified on the track.
Back in here again. Man, every time I get on the microphone here or the phone or the whatever apparatus that we decide to use to record, it's always an honor to be able to be here in this space with you, and just thank you once again for even tuning in and listening, because that's what it's about, man. Listening to that inner intuition, that inner voice that always has been there, but for whatever reason has been stifled by the noise that society places on us, and has been stifled by the programming of childhood. And that's okay, right? That's why we're here to talk about, just getting out of our own way. Just as I was coming up with the premise for today's podcast, it was probably about a couple weeks ago. I had this idea of like, how would this whole series go, this whole podcast go? And as I've talked to some of my colleagues and friends, and about my boy Mark Hughes Certified, I'm always inspired, man. I'm always get ideas, and we always kind of throw each other things back and forth. And so just it got me thinking, what is that? How does that happen with a team, or how does that happen with people that you meet over time and over life? Like, how do you build rapport with people and do it in a way that's very genuine and to who you are? Like, I was just thinking about that. I wonder how many people struggle with that, right? Like, if you're out there thinking about, man, like, I want to meet some genuine people, some people that's really going to ride with me. You know what I'm saying? Some people that's on my team that's going to tell me the truth and not try to BS me. Like, if you're out there listening to this and you just, that's what you're looking for, like, just raise your hand, because I'm raising my hand right now. Like, I know that's what I've always looked for, just not just in a teammate of somebody that I want, but just in a teammate that I want to be, right? Like, you can't expect somebody to give you something that you're not willing to give yourself. Like, that's the whole premise of this. And just meeting this young man and being around him, just seeing the things that he's about, like, it continues to inspire me. And it actually, like I said, inspired this podcast, because once again, every time we get together, he has the recorded stuff ready to go. He's like, just in case, bro, like, if you want to get down on the cast, like, here you go. If not, we just chilling, having the conversation. And just having that understanding and that presence of mind to know, like, all right, this is how I can help alley-oop to my teammate, if you will, because when they come in, maybe they're short of time, or maybe they're, maybe they got something on their mind that they want to talk about, and he's just been present in that manner to know, hell, he might be running his mouth a little bit, so we might want to capture this, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it's about, man. Just really, having that team and that genuine connection, and you can't get that, guys, if you're not willing to do that with yourself. And anytime I sit down and we do the podcast, I try to be as organic as possible. Like, I have some things that I want to talk about, like a few items of interest, right? Like, you got an agenda, whatever. But I mean, the authenticity comes from when literally we're just having conversations behind the scenes of, how can we improve, right? How can we get to a point in our life where we're out of the autopilot of distraction, of the social media, of the news cycles, of the I need to be in debt to win ideas. Like, how do we get out of that autopilot, that type of thinking, and shift the perspective of how do I get into building better habits, right? Building better rapport with myself, meaning understanding who I am to the core so that I'm comfortable and confident in what I know and what I don't know, right? Like, if we're so caught up in the distractions of, let me see how many followers I got, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But if that's what we're chasing, and we're not chasing the betterment of ourselves and the betterment of society, then, like I said, we can get caught up in this autopilot of, I need to be on my social media 6 hours a day. I need to neglect my health, mental health, physical health, spiritual health. That's what I'm seeing out here in today's society. And I'm not judgmental. I hope it's not coming off that way. But just some of the things that I've seen is got me concerned. And so using this platform as a way to, just be honest about it. And I hope it helps, right? So getting back and staying on track with knowing how to go deeper with yourself, right? Like, that's really what it's about. And having people in your life that can hold you accountable, right? Like, being able to help you set yourself up for success. And that only comes with, once again, knowing who you are. Because, Mark, I'm not going to lie, bro. I don't think if you were who you are, right, I wouldn't be able to be here now, you know what I'm saying, putting the podcast together with you. And, you wouldn't have invited me into your establishment, right? So, no, but once again, like, I think I've always wanted to be honest about what happens behind the scenes also. So people, if you're inspired to do your own podcast, right? Like, I think that's the hope of this journey, is that it's showing you, not that I'm better or worse than you. It's just, I'm going to talk to you about just some of the struggles that I'm having and some of the things that I'm seeing, and putting it out there, really. So now there is no excuse. There is no, well, I had no idea that, there was going to be a hard struggle to do a podcast, or I had no idea that it was going to be as easy as it was, right? Like, that's what it is. It's now that I'm just sitting there talking out loud, man, it's the unknown that is the scary part, right? This, I don't know what that dark room is gonna, have in it. And if I'm telling you, hey, it's just a room that's dark, right? Like, if you don't have trust in me, bro, right? Or if I don't have trust in you and in the words that you're speaking into me, right? Like, then that's no way to live, right? Like, that room is dark. But if you tell me and we have rapport and trust, and you've done nothing out of the ordinary to show me differently, then to take it a step further, I'm going to go into this unknown darkness. Not because I'm just giving you my entire control, but we've had a rapport. You said, like, bro, trust me here. There's no evidence that there's no trust there. I go into this dark room. It's nothing. It's usually nothing. I might trip on my own 2 feet walking up to the dark room versus have even a sliver of fear from what's in that room, right? So it's that unknown, guys, and I get it. I totally get it. That unknown of, what if I put myself out there and it's not the best? It's okay. I struggled with that, man. I daily struggle with that. Like, if I put out this information or this this content, whatever you want to call it, this session, this podcast, it could flop. We're not wishing for that. Please subscribe, right? Like put them thumbs in the air and wave them like you just don't care. But like, I mean, that's not what it's about. Like, I'm going to do this whether the thumbs come up or not. Like, I enjoy teaching. I enjoy helping people go from A to Z to the next level, and doing it in a way that the relationship is organic and it's not sycophantic. It's not, oh, this person can help me, so I'm going to try to do something to prop myself up to look this way to help them. Like, like people know when you're genuine, guys. Like, and I think that's been just reflecting back, I think that's been the X factor, bro. Like, just really doing hard things and then really managing my mind and managing the emotions that come with the next level that we're looking for, right? Because it's different. It's going to always feel a little more stressful because you're striving for something that you probably didn't even think about until maybe, like I said, we have conversations and it sparks ideas. But it's through that vulnerability, right? You're sharing some of your ideas with me. I'm sharing some of my ideas with you. And then it starts to percolate other ideas in you. And that inspiration is it goes back and forth and it builds. Like that's what I think has been the only X factor in anything that I think that I've been able to accomplish. Has been not alone, right? There's been some struggles and some things I've had to go through on my own. Some decisions I've had to make on my own. Do I move to Seattle or do I stay in the comforts of the Chi, right? But all of that said, we talk about it all the time. It doesn't happen without action. Action and continuity. That's where rapport comes from. That's where relationship building comes from. It's not that you're perfect, but you're being consistent in what you're saying and what you're doing. And you start with yourself, right? Like people, like, listen in, please, like, just get your pen and pad. Because for me, the few things that I continue to struggle with daily, and I have to remind myself daily, is that no matter how I feel, if I don't put in the work that's required to get up and do a podcast, to get up and be the best version of myself every day, no matter how I feel, to get up and stop feeling sorry for myself, to get up and stop blaming somebody else for me not having control of my life, to get up and stop saying this economy is trash, so that means I can't become who I want to become, to get up and get our minds right, to get up out of our own way. Like that has to be the work that we're doing, right? That's it, man. I mean, that's one thing that, I try to give at least a few takeaways, some of the things that I've learned, some of the hard lessons maybe, or even some of the lessons I've seen my clients go through. I've seen my family go through. You can learn from others' mistakes too, right? Like you don't have to just go, oh, the stove is hot, let me touch it. Oh yeah, it's hot. Let's look at the caution labels on there from people past that have said, yo, I think that's hot, bro. You shouldn't touch that. But then we have to go back to the relationship that you have with the person delivering the information. And then you have to go back and trace that back to the information that they're getting it from, right? So trust is a must, or your team is a bust. And I can't say that I came up with that slogan. I've heard that a few places, and it's always resonated with me because things are going to happen in life, right? But if you don't trust the one person that's going to be with you through the entire journey of your life, which is you, it's very hard, I believe, to build that relationship of trust with others, right? So if that's something that you guys struggle with, just trusting yourself, trusting a process with yourself. Like I I implore you to come coach with me, right? Come check me out. Come understand, you know, yourself a little bit better, right? And people always ask me, like, what do you get out of coaching? Like, it's not because, you're able to be a little bit more flexible than being in corporate America. Like, no, that's not even the case. The case is being able to be there alongside of you, being able to be there with you when things get tough and when things go right, and to help build that awareness, because that is the first step to making any changes. Awareness of, hey, there's some things that I need to change. Maybe there's some things that are working well that I can just tweak a little bit. Or maybe there's some things I just need to really just go ahead and just double down on and just keep doing, right? But that awareness it does take some time, and it can take help. And so if any of this resonates with you guys, like, please, just tune in, subscribe. I hope to get this out to all the platforms. Where it stands now, it's going to be straight audio form. But for me, just really wanted to get this information out, or just get some thoughts out and help people here. If you're struggling with some of these things that we've, that I've talked about here, that we've put out there, like, it's okay. Like, you're going to get through that, right? You're listening to this now. We talk about balanced reflection. We talk about not only thinking about the good things that happened, but some of those things that didn't go well and why it didn't go well, right? Like, I don't think I told this story. And I like telling like stories, good stories, based in facts, not making things up like some of these TikTokers or folks are doing, just trying to sound good. But this is real talk, and I know for a fact that this is one of those things that things didn't go right, but I think it might have caused a little bit of trouble. So let's dive into it just a little bit. There was a time where I was really big into like the lottery. Just growing up in Chicago in the 80s, anything that we could do to, try to get out of a situation. Like even if it's a trillion to one odds, like, we're going to play this lotto, right? Especially if it gets big enough. Okay. Like, and that's one thing that we'll talk about in another podcast, is just a poverty mindset, because that's where I was coming from when as I'm telling this story. I want you to really think of it from a mindset, a poverty mindset of, I had no idea of other ways to make money other than maybe gambling. I had some gambling in me, maybe some card playing, but that's a whole nother podcast. But I had this inclination of, I wanted to, the Mega Millions got really big. I was about 24, 25. I'm on my own out here in Seattle at this point. This is probably 2006, 2007. And so the Mega Millions gets to about, I want to say about 600 million, right? So, if you're going to play some type of lottery, you're going to play it when it's pretty big, not a 20 million boy, 500 million, those type of pots, right? So it got up to about 500 million. So of course, I'm just like, whatever, I'm making a little money as an engineer now. Still with the poverty mindset though, guys. Remember that. Not the same awareness I carry now. Thank you, Jesus. But I ended up buying a few tickets, and lo and behold, somebody hit the jackpot. Okay. So follow me. Now, mind you, I'm about 25, 26 at the time. About 25, 26. And I go online, and it tells you there's, let's say, one Powerball winner. There's, 30 millionaire winner tickets. There's, they have the breakdown, the metrics for those leaders out there that love metrics. They have the metrics out there of who won, who didn't, and whatever. So I look online, I go, oh man, okay, there's 16 winning tickets in Washington. Oh snap. Yo, your boy might have a winning ticket. Let me go and check. Hey. I go bring the numbers up. Boom. I look at the ticket. I look at the numbers. Wait a minute now. They look in the mirror each other. I look at the first number. Boom. Line up. Oh my God. I look at the second number. Boom. Line up. Oh my God. I look at the third number. Boom. Line up. Oh my God. My heart beating, bro. I look at the fourth number. Boom. Oh my God. Lining up. Now, mind you, it has to be all five and Powerball to get anything significant, right? So I go to the last number. So if you get all 5 without the Powerball, you get $1 million off rip. So now I'm just not even worried about the Powerball. I'm just like, yo, give me a meal ball. Like, we out of here. We out. So I look down the line. I got all 4 numbers lined up. But why I looked up to the thing is 28. Why I got 29 on the bottom, bro? Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, that's the stinger, baby. I'm looking because everything lined up like, oh my God, like the numbers, the decimal places are right, the denominations, how they got 16, 20. I'm looking at all the number 25, okay, 25, 28, 28. I get to the next one, bro. I said the last one. I said, oh yo, it's a mailboy. We about to get it on slowly. Oh, coming home. I'm about to buy you a house. You ain't gotta work no more, mama. Right? So I got one number off. I mean, the disgust. I look back, I look down, I think I won like $150. The next number 5, I think if I would have had that plus the Powerball, it would have been like 250,000, right? Which is a lot of money. A lot of money. Man, so that doesn't happen. I think I won $150. Now, I tell this story to say this. Like, obviously, I'm in a different point of my life now. I'm a kid with $250 to $1 million. With no physical restraint as far as how to work cash, how to work money. There's no way I would have done right with that money. There's no way I would have been a good steward of that money. And so guess what? It wasn't bestowed to me at that point. I hadn't learned the lessons I needed to learn to be here at this point in my life, which 250 to $1 million is never going to help anybody who's not ready to have that type of responsibility with that type of resource, right? So it wasn't my time. And so what I'm saying here, guys, and I leave you with this, is that sometimes we think we have a plan set up for our life, and we think that that's the best way to go. We think that's the only way to go. And we think that if it doesn't go according to plan, then something's wrong with us, or something's wrong with the plan we had. But I just hope that story illustrates just the power of the universe, however you want to call it, spirituality, and believing that what's yours will be yours when that time is right. And when you're aligned with who you are, that's when I believe things will be added unto you. So if this resonates with you guys, please tap in. I appreciate you lending me your ears once again, and your minds, your spirits. Just please go out there and continue to do the best thing you can do. Just be yourself. Be the best version of yourself for you. And just be you. Appreciate y'all. One love.